bringing us to almost 3:30. So we were out at the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight on our outside broadcast last week. But the previous weekend, you probably remember that we've got Jonathan working with us for, I think we've got the use of Jonathan until about the beginning of July, because he's just graduated from university and is doing some work experience with the BBC. And I thought it might be quite interesting to put him on a train, send him to Newark last weekend but one, and he came back with this report.
Under the wooden gables of the white brick building, tonight's band is warming up. Just around the corner, the wine cellar is doing a roaring trade, selling wine by the glass, and the latecomers are just arriving, only to realise that it's standing room only at the back. You'd think this was 1930s New York, but you'd be wrong. This is 2012, and this is Newark. Back on the stage, the sound check is almost over, and the band strikes up.
So, this is one of the pieces we are doing tonight, so you need to pretend not to have heard it before when we play it later. Generally, when we do a concert, we'll turn up hours before the public will not be in there to hear the sound check, but, you know, c'est la vie, that's showbiz.
The band that's playing tonight is the Good Guys Orchestra, a huge 18-piece big band formed and directed by Guy Garrett, a man of many talents who provides occasional trombone playing and vocals. Before the gig, I managed to grab a word with the man himself.
I formed the band about 15 months ago, and it's a full 18-piece big band with 5 saxophones, 4 trombones, 4 trumpets, drum kit, keyboard, upright bass and guitar, and a vocalist.
That's a pretty loud band then.
It is pretty loud, yeah. It gives off quite a wall of sound, which is exactly what we want.
So what would you say sets you apart from the other swing orchestras out there?
We've tried to bring a fresh approach into the world of big band, and we are pretty much energy driven. We take all the old standards and we make sure that we do fantastic arrangements, and we're trying to make something fresh. A lot of people, you say big band to them, especially the youngsters of today, they think of, oh crikey, it's all Glenn Miller and all the old stuff that we won't be interested in. Well, we're trying to change that. We are exciting, fresh, vibrant. We play a lot of new music from the likes of Gordon Goodwin, who he didn't form his band till the year 2000. And he's pretty much along the same lines. He wanted to try and bring something new to the big band world, and all of his music, which he composes most of and arranges himself with his band called the Big Fat Band, with a PH, is fast tempos, almost frantic tempos. Energy is amazing, and it's always got passages of extreme virtuosity, which is fine for his band because he surrounded himself with some of the world's best players. Now, in my case, I've surrounded myself with all the region's best players, and I fortunately have a band that can handle the sort of music that he was putting out, and that's pretty much what we do. We do a lot of Gordon Goodwin stuff, keep it fresh. We do the old standards, but like I say, we always get really great arrangements of those.
One of the main problems with swing music is that it's not attracting a younger audience. Instead, it seems to be limited to the older generation, something the Guy is keen to address with his work.
We are attracting younger people. We've done a couple of concerts in colleges, just plain and simply because we want the younger people to see that it can be exciting music. It's not, like you say, the old stuffy that it is perceived to be. So, obviously, the main... When you're first setting out, the main people that come and see a big band are the older generation, but they're pleasantly surprised, and we are getting a younger audience, and hopefully we can get even more.
Guy is also keen to thank the other singers that are spearheading a revival in swing music.
The likes of Michael Bublé have brought the big band into a more popular place, and even before him, Jamie Cullum. So we're not the first to try and update the image of swing music, but hopefully, we can do as much good as they have.
And do you think we're overdue for another swing revival?
Absolutely. I've got a 14-year-old and 11-year-old, and they love it. I think I must have the only 11-year-old that knows the words to Frank Sinatra songs.
As tonight's gig comes to a close, what's the future for the Good Guys Orchestra?
This is a long-term arrangement. We realised at the start that it does take a long time to get established. If people don't know your name and what you're all about, they won't come and see you. So we're trying to get ourselves out there, and it's all about just getting the word out that the good guys are in town.
That's Jonathan's report from Newark, the Jazz Festival, 2 weeks ago. And Jonathan joins me in the studio now. So it sounds like it was a great night.
Oh, yes, yeah, terrific fun. Terrific fun. I really enjoyed myself. And now I can see why you play the Good Guys so often on your show, because hearing it live is spectacular.
And
it really was.
I mean, I think this is the other thing. I try to lend them some support because, they're East Midlands musicians. They're from our own district, from here in Lincolnshire and Humberside area. And
you've got to support local talent,
of course. And we try to give all of the local bands a good hearing. But that's great. Well done for that report.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for that. Thank you. Now, I set you a bit of a task to cull your own personal record collection and come up with a few things that perhaps we wouldn't normally feature on the programme, but that we ought to give an airing. And my weakness for the music of Al Burley. So
of course,
you've started with an Al Burley track.
Yes, and this is perfect for a summer day. And this is actually one of, I think, where Al is able to demonstrate that he can sing in a hot style as well. It's not just soft crooning. But I thought it's a sunny day, so I'll go for this song because it's absolutely perfect. This is a track called Making Wicky Wacky Down in Waikiki.
Pack up your troubles and come along. Well, life's a dreamy and life's a song. In Honolulu, across the sea, making wicky wacky down in Waikiki. Oh, the hula dancers, sure good news. The joy dispenses a cure for blues. It's absolutely the place to be, making wicky wacky down in Waikiki. No evening clothes, anything goes, believe it or not. And when the night shadows fall, that's when they all get in hard. On the ukuleles, they use the moonbeams to light the night, and every tune seems to sound just right. It's absolutely the place to be, making wicky wacky down in Waikiki. All you wide awakers, join me. I've just found a spot, you'll like it a lot. Far away, off in Honolulu, when the hula hula greets you. Hawaii is the place to get a smile on your face. Pack up your troubles and come along. Well, life's a dreamy and life's a song. In Honolulu, across the sea, down to Waikiki. Oh, the hula dancers, the sure good news. The joy dispenses a cure for blues. It's absolutely the place to be. Down to Waikiki. The modern daughters curse the charter in sunny weather. Now they're shorter than they ordered till they vanish altogether.
That's great, isn't it? Al Burley singing with the Ray Noble Orchestra, making Wiki Wacky down in Waikiki. And Jonathan, you were just saying that's actually a very difficult disc to get hold of if you're a collector.
Apparently it's one of the rarest Ray Noble and Al Burley songs. I have no idea why, but I mean, obviously it's a great song and you can't really fail to tap your feet to the beat with that. That definitely.
It is. It's a good track. I like his voice. I mean, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But I just think that he had such energy when he was
such a versatile singer as well. You know, I mean, I'm sure he left the studio that day and probably went to a bar and did plenty of crooning. You know, it's this all round guy, really good singer.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm interested in your next choice. Right. This is Fred Elizalde and his music. We don't hear a lot of him. I suppose we're going back a good way, aren't we?
This is 1927. The song itself is actually from the early 20s. Fred Elizalde is, of course, remembered now as the first person to bring Al Burley to the UK. And he was a Philippines-born Spanish piano player who came to Cambridge University to study law. So he formed a band called his Cambridge Undergraduates. And the band at various times featured musicians like Adrian Rollini, Chelsea Quealy, Bobby Davis and Fudd Livingston. Quite a few of them went back and made the California Ramblers, or were part of the California Ramblers before. And this is very, very early British jazz. When the Brunswick label first started, they had a 100 series, and you had some very early Ambrose stuff and some very early Fred Elizalde stuff, which is very unconventional, and it didn't sell very well, so it's quite hard to come by today. But I thought, because it has the word posies in it, would be a nice summary song. And again, it's quite rare. This is a song called Don't Bring Me Posies, It's the Shoesies That I Need.
Don't Bring Me Posies, It's the Shoesies That I Need. Fred Elizalde and his music. And shame that there's a fair bit of the shellac sound in.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was the start of the Brunswick record company in the UK, and there's an awful lot of swish and etc. And actually, the record looks all right, but it might be that my stylus wasn't the right size, and I know we've talked about this in the past, and, when you can buy different size styluses and etc. But I did the best I could with my second-hand equipment and cobbled together bits and bobs.
Excellent. Well, good to hear, nonetheless.
Yes.
And let's have your third track. Now, this is interesting. I've never heard this before, and I've been looking forward to this.
Right. Well, this is a really unusual disc. The record on the front is actually marked "Not for Sale," and it's done by Columbia. And basically, it's an advertising record for the new Savoy Hotel Orpheans. Now, Carol Gibbons was persuaded by the Savoy to return to England after what I will say is his triumphs in Hollywood, and Columbia at the time offered them a new recording contract. And I guess this must have been how adverts used to sound on the radio, because you'll have a very posh announcer, and they'll all play their own little solos, and then they'll say, buy their records and etc. And it's just one of those curiosities, I guess. And these turn up for sale occasionally, and they're very, very interesting. The song they're actually playing is called "You Are My Heart's Delight," even though there's no title on the disc. But yeah, it's just an interesting record, really.
Okay, well, normally the BBC wouldn't advertise, but of course this is
very historical. Way back. This is 1931.
A piece of audio history.
Allow me to present to you on this Columbia record London's great new dance orchestra, the Savoy Hotel Orpheans, a name familiar to millions of gramophone or radio enthusiasts throughout the world, and now representing a sparkling new combination of the cleverest of dance musicians. Meet some of them. First, there's Howard Jacobs, who can with all confidence claim to be Europe's greatest saxophonist. He has come over from Claridge's Hotel specially to lead the Savoy Orpheans. Just listen to this golden-toned saxophone. And here is Carol Gibbons, just back in London after his triumphs in Hollywood. Carol is an absolute master of dance rhythm on the piano and was recalled by cable to help make the Savoy Hotel Orpheans the rage of the season, which they are already acclaimed to be. Who is nightly fascinating dancers at the Savoy with his magic on the xylophone. Rudy could almost guarantee to make the whole world dance. And here is another star instrumentalist, Hugo Rignold, whose alluring playing on the violin is one of the irresistible attractions of this band. He is joined by the famous Bert Thomas on his guitar. I only wish that time and opportunity were available to introduce to you the others of these young dance wizards. The Savoy Hotel have spared no expense to secure the finest musicians for their band. And you will have their wonderful dance records on Columbia, and only on Columbia. Look out for them, for they will create a bigger sensation than anything you have yet known.
What about that? That certainly is one for the music historians, isn't it? I'm grateful to Jonathan for bringing those discs in. We'll perhaps get the chance to hear a little more from his personal collection of vintage discs in the remaining weeks that we enjoy the assistance that he's been giving us, and grateful for that.